Hello there and welcome back to this Flutter course where today we're actually going to be continuing Unit 5. Actually, we're going to be finishing up Unit 5 today. Going to be having a look at the scaffold widget. So this widget is a convenience widget. It provides a lot of APIs for us to do stuff. APIs, styling, things like that. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I guess I shouldn't really... We're going to talk about it right now, so I don't know what I'm doing and talking about it in the intro. Let's get right into this. Here we go. Okay, scaffold widget. So the scaffold widget provides a blueprint layout structure and default material design. It includes APIs for adding in all types of visual elements that are much easier to do using this one unified widget instead of a bunch of different widgets. We add in the actual body of our app into the body parameter. So essentially what the text that I wrote here means is that it goes ahead and first of all, it applies a bunch of just default styling. And we can see that happening right here. So before, when we just put text into our material app, it went ahead and it was the text was sort of blue. I'm sorry, no, it was like red. I think the yellow underlines, and then the background was black, and it just really wasn't very visually pleasing. Now, on the other hand, that we've added the scaffold in there, it is quite visually pleasing now, and it just looks better. So yeah, that is a scaffold widget. That's what it does. I mean, it's not the only thing that it does, but that's a big part of it. That's something that you can see immediately. Let's go ahead and implement this in the code. All right, so here we are in the code. You'll see that I have my emulator starting up here. We're going to let that happen while we actually go ahead and do the stuff here. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the center widget. Okay, and instead we're going to go ahead and paste in, or not paste in, we're going to add in scaffold, a scaffold widget, and the home is going to be text and hello world. All right, there we go. Right, not home. Confuse it with material app. There we go. Body text hello world. Let's save that. There we go. So that's going to go ahead and start up on our emulator. Here we have our emulator. Let's give this a chance to start up. Okay, so it decided to start up before I save. Let me go ahead and refresh that. Or no, I guess it's still starting up. There it is. Now I can refresh or restart. All right, and there we go. So now you can see we get hello world. So before in the example, the text was bigger. So because I actually just I added the text style. So I can do that here too. Text comma style. Text style. Font size 20.0. There we go, and that's going to go ahead and make it bigger. Let's make it like, I don't know, maybe 70. I think that's what I had there. There we go. Okay, so you can see now that it looks quite good, and so that's essentially a big part of the scaffold widget. It provides a bunch of default styling, and we can of course change that styling, but that's a little bit of a different talk. But yeah, you can see that now that our app looks generally much better than it did before, thanks to the scaffold widget and the default styling that it provides. Anyway, then let's go ahead and actually take a look at a very important, I'd say one of the coolest features that scaffold provides. Okay, and the feature that I was talking about is actually the app bar. So an app bar is a widget that we can insert into a scaffold to add a bar at the top of our app with a title. It's a simple and easy addition that goes a long way towards making our application look much more polished. It itself takes a widget to display at the top. So it takes in a widget, so you can see here that we have the scaffold and it has an app bar property here. And this app bar will take in an app bar widget, and inside that app bar widget, it takes in a title, and inside that title, we can actually place our own widget. We can paste in, a column or something where we can have like text and then an image. But in this case, we just have text, and you can see here that this adds this app bar at the top with the hello world app here. So yeah, it just generally, and as you can see, the app just does look a lot more polished. So if we were just to, now all we have to do really is completely fill in the body, and then that would actually look like an actually ready app that we can then, ship. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we can implement this in the code. All right, so here we are in the code, and we have our widget here, our scaffold here. So let's go ahead and add an app bar. Let's see, app bar. Whoops. bar. It's always difficult to type when I have like a huge microphone right in front of me, so I can't quite see the keyboard. App bar, that's going to take in an app bar widget. There we go. And inside there, child, we can put text. Not child, it's title. Forget the correct names there. All right, there we go. Text, and for text, we're going to add in, let's say, I don't know, maybe let's just say let's just do hello world app. There we go. That's kind of generic, but what can you do? All right, there we go. Let's format that, save that, go to the emulator, and there we go. You can see now that we have hello world app there, and we got a hello world here. That's, this is looking pretty good. So this is the app bar. Pretty cool stuff. Cool beans. Of course, there are a lot more things that we can do with the scaffold. If we go to declaration here, you can see that we have a floating action button that we can add, and we can actually customize that floating action button. We can have a drawer there, which essentially just at the top left, there's like we can make like a menu. We can change the background color and so on and so on. So there are a ton of different things that we can add. Going through all of them will take like years. So if you do need to, if you are curious, you can always look at the Flutter documentation. That's really, I would say, the best way to do this stuff. Okay. So that's actually all for the scaffold, and that is actually all for today's lesson and this unit as well. So again, we just started going over like the basic units here. These are quite important. You're going to see that in the next unit, we're actually going to be creating an application Flutter, so an actual application. So before we were just looking at sort of just separate widgets and how they work and just topics and things like that. In the next unit, we're going to be taking all our knowledge and combining them together to actually write an application, because you can look at this, separate widgets and technology and techniques and things like all for years. But if you never actually use them to combine them to write applications, then you're not going to be able to write applications. That's the whole point of programming, to be able to write applications. So in the next unit, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Hopefully now you should have a good idea of, the basic widgets in Flutter, how they work. And in the next unit, when we do the exercise, you're gonna sort of cement your knowledge. There we go. Lost the word there. All right, there we go. Anyway, I'm gonna see you there. Till soon.